Hi, my name is Jennifer. Welcome back to the channel. Today, on this rainy Saturday afternoon in September, I thought we would try a bookish quiz. So something a little bit different. It's entirely possible, if I do terrible at this, that this video will never see the light of day. But I bought this bookish quiz book at a charity shop a couple of years ago. This is the Penguin Book Quiz. It says, from the very hungry caterpillar to Ulysses. I mean, I really hope there's not many questions on Ulysses. By James Walton, published by Penguin Books. So I bought it a couple of years ago from a charity shop for like £1, and it's just sat on the shelf. And I was like, I love books and I love quizzes, so I really love bookish quizzes. And I was like, we could make a video of this. So the book is words are hard. The book is split into a number of different quizzes with 5 rounds each. So I thought we could just try quiz 1 today. There are 5 rounds. I think a couple of rounds are sort of like general quiz questions. 1 is a guess the author. 1 is connections, and 1 is I think it's like the opening paragraph of books that you have to identify what the book is. And we are we're using the high-tech method because you got the quiz all together and the answers all together, so I don't want to be spoiled for the answers. So very kindly, my lovely partner has written for me the answers on these bits of paper, so I can just turn them over one at a time and not be spoiled for the other answers. So this quiz book was published in 2019, just to give an idea of how modern it is. So it's not super up to date, but it's relatively modern. Feel free to play along. I am going to do the answer straight after each question, because otherwise you've got to go over the questions again. That's a waste of time. And play along if you would like to. Keep track of your score, and let's go. So round 1, quick fire. All the answers begin with an A. Okay, question 1. Who's the main human character in Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Starting with an A. Okay, so there is a name that springs to mind. I've never read the book. I've never seen any adaptations. Do you need a surname? So the name that springs to mind is Arthur Dent. I don't know where I've got that from, but I don't have anything else. And it is Arthur Dent. I'm going to make a pile of right answers and wrong answers so we can see how well I do. Question 2. Lestat de Lioncourt is the main character in whose novel series The Vampire Chronicles, which began in 1976 with Interview with a Vampire. That's a book I DNF'd. I really want to like Interview with a Vampire. I just didn't quite get on with it. I believe that is Anne Rice. Correct. Okay, we're going great. Question 3. The speech beginning all the world's a stage is in which Shakespeare play? I'm not totally up on my Shakespeare, but all the world's a stage. Oh God, all the world's, is it Much Ado About Nothing? All the world's a stage. I mean, what else? I don't think it is. I don't think it's one of the tragedies. I'm just gonna say Much Ado About Nothing because I don't know Shakespeare. As you like it. As you like it, there you go. Question 4, which chef's books include Ultimate Barbecue Bible, Caribbean Kitchen, and the top 100 recipes from Ready, Steady, Cook? So I don't know, but I'm going to take a gamble on, oh my God, what's his name? A chef who was on Ready, Steady, Cook. I can picture his face. What is his name? His name is... Right, I cannot think what his name is, but also I've just realised this round they all start with A, so why did I guess Much Ado About Nothing? Why did you not tell me? Why did you not tell me? I cannot think of his name. I don't know. Ainsley Harriott. Okay. Question 5. Who wrote the world's best ever selling book by a teenager, The Diary of a Young Girl? So that is Anne Frank. Yes, correct. Which philosopher, question 6, which philosopher was a student of Plato and a tutor of Alexander the Great? I mean, if it starts with A, I am going to guess at... Who am I? I'm going to guess Aristotle. Yeah, correct. Question 7. Who has published several volumes of his diaries with subtitles that include Prelude to Power, 1994 to 97, and Countdown to Iraq? Diaries. Oh, that guy, Alice. What's his name? So I'm guessing it's a politician. Labour politician. Politician. What's his name? Alistair. I want to say. Is this his name? Alistair Campbell? That could be someone else, and I could be wildly wrong. Alistair Campbell. I heard him speak years ago at the NHS Confederation exhibition thing, whatever you call it. And he was really interesting. And they gave us all a copy of his novel, and I can't remember what it was called, but I read it, and it was like really, really good. Focused a lot on mental health, mental illness. Anyway, question 8. Who preceded Carol Ann Duffy as the Poet Laureate? Is that Andrew Motion? Yes. Question 9. What's the title of the classic First World War novel by Eric Maria Remarque? I probably pronounced that wrong. The classic First World War novel. So do we, if it starts with an A, does that count? What would that be? I mean, I've never heard of that author, so I don't know. All Quiet on the Western Front. Yeah, I should have guessed that. Question 10. Who's the creator of the modern detective? Oh, Daniel Hawthorne. The wartime detective, Christopher Foyle. And the teenage spy, Alex Rider. So Daniel Hawthorne. I really like that series of books. It is Anthony Horowitz. Correct. One of my favourite contemporary crime mystery writers. Question 11. Oliver Bowden has written several books based on which video game that features the Knights Templar as the main baddies? Which video game starting with an A? I mean, name a video game starting with an A. I don't think I have anything. I don't play video games. I don't know anything about them. I mean, I'll probably have heard of this, but I'm going to pass. Assassin's Creed. I mean, I've heard of it, but yeah. 12. Whose autobiography did Gertrude Stein write in 1933? Whose autobiography did Gertrude Stein write in 1933? If it's an autobiography, surely it can only be Gertrude Stein, but that doesn't start with an A. 1933. I mean, it can't be an autobiography. Is that just a typo? Gertrude Stein, 1933. I don't know who that is. I mean, this may be wildly wrong. I mean, can I say Adolf Hitler? It was not Adolf Hitler. Alice B. Toklas. I have no idea who that is or how Gertrude Stein wrote her autobiography. But there we go. Oh, that definitely goes in the wrong pile. So I got 5 incorrect. So I must have got 7 right. How many is there? Yeah, I did. I got 7 right. Okay, that's not too embarrassing. Okay. Right, round 2 is guess the author. So, can you guess the writer from these clues? The fewer you need, the better. Looks like there's like 4 clues per author. So I'm like covering up the bottom clues. So I'll read the clues one at a time. We can have a guess as we go through, but we'll read to the end of the clues and we can change our guesses if we want to. Yeah. So this is just for fun. Right, question number 1. In later life, she was a prize-winning breeder of sheep. In later life, she was a prize-winning breeder of sheep. I mean, I've got nothing. 2. Despite being British, she was played by Renee Zellweger in a 2006 biopic, which must be... Oh, God. That Beatrix Potter, yeah? So, clue 3. Her former home, Hilltop Farm in Cumbria, has been open to the public since 1946. And the final clue is... The main character in her first book had siblings called Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail, so I'm pretty sure that must be Beatrix Potter. And it is. Right, question number 2. He's the only writer to have a British football club named after one of his novels. Named after? What would that be? A British football club? I cannot think of that at all. The next clue, the biggest monument to any novelist anywhere in the world is to him. The biggest monument to any novelist anywhere in the world is to him. I feel like this must be really obvious and people are probably shouting at their screens right now because I can't think. What? So, like, what monument? I don't know. Next question. Oh. Both the football club and the monument are in Edinburgh. What's Edinburgh's football? Do you know what Edinburgh's football club's called? Is it? No. Is it? No. Oh my gosh. So it's a Scottish... Okay. So it's a Scottish, like, classic author. So do we say Robert Louis Stevenson? Was he Scottish? I'm going to guess him. Let's see what the final clue is. He's generally credited with establishing the form of the historical novel as we know it today through novels such as Ivanhoe and Rob Roy. Ivanhoe. Who wrote Ivanhoe? Oh, but what? Oh, I'm confused. I'm going to say Robert Louis Stevenson with no confidence. Walter Scott. So what's... Oh! What's the monument? What's the football club? I'm going to have a Google. One moment. So the monument is the Scots Monument in Edinburgh, which I don't think I've heard of or seen, even though I went to Edinburgh a few years ago. And the football club is Hearts, because their full name is Heart of Midlothian. And he had a book, The Heart of Midlothian. Well, I have learned something. Question 3. His brother Gregory is a composer whose works include Mr. Charles Darwin. His brother Gregory is a composer whose works include Mr. Charles Darwin. Gregory. Next clue. He wrote the world's best-selling novel of the first decade of the 21st century. He wrote the world's best-selling novel of the first decade of the 21st century. That's the century we're in now, right? So the 2000s. I mean, when was the Da Vinci Code? Dan Brown? Dan Brown's my guess so far. Oh yeah. Next clue. Its main character is Robert Langdon. Yeah, that's the Da Vinci Code. And it has the name of an artist in the title. Dan Brown. Well done to me. Okay, question 4. In her time as a literary critic, she wrote an essay called Silly Novels by Lady Novelists. I have no idea, but that sounds interesting. Next, she caused something of a scandal by not being married to the man she lived with for more than 20 years, until his death in 1878. Could it be Jane Austen? I know she wasn't married. I don't know. Next. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, of course. This will give it away. The third clue is her real name was Mary Ann Evans. That's George Eliot, right? Next one, next clue. Both Martin Amis and Julian Barnes have described her 1972 book that features the characters Dorothea Brooke, Edward Casaubon, and Dr. Tertius Lydgate as the greatest English novel of them all. So that must be Middle Arch. So yeah, George Eliot. Correct. Right, there are two more in this round. Next one. His wife's maiden name was I can't pronounce that. Sayre. It's Sayre. No idea. He was named after a distant cousin who wrote the lyrics for what later became the American national anthem. He was named after a distant cousin who wrote the lyrics for what? So who wrote those lyrics? Don't know. Next. He coined the phrase the Jazz Age for the 1920s in the title of a short story collection. I don't know. I mean, at this point I'm going to guess Hemingway, but there is another clue. No, it's not. His last completed novel was Tender is the Night. I think that's F. Scott Fitzgerald. Yeah, I mean, I got it on the final clue, but you know. And then the final one in this round. Her famous mother died from puerperal, in brackets childbed, fever, 10 days after giving birth to her. Her famous mother, so I'm going to guess at this point maybe Mary Shelley. That famous mother wrote A Vindication of the Rights of Woman in 1792. Her best-known novel was published when she was 20 and has been the subject of nearly 100 film adaptations, some of them quite loose. I think this must be Mary Shelley, right? And it features a monster that's never named. Mary Shelley. So I think... Oh, did I get 5 of those right? I mean, some of them on the final clue, but nevertheless. Okay, so the next round is extracts. So these are the first words of the first novels their authors ever published. Can you name the author and the novel? 1 point for each. And it tells you the year that the book was published. There's only 4 questions in this round. So here we go. This is from 1987. And it says, "We'll ask Jimmy," said Outspan. "Jimmy'll know. Jimmy Rabbit knew his music. He knew his stuff all right. You'd never see Jimmy coming home from town without a new album or a 12-inch or at least a 7-inch single. Jimmy ate Melody Maker and The NME every week and Hot Press every 2 weeks. He listened to Dave Fanning and John Peel. He even read his sister's Jackie when there was no one looking. So Jimmy knew his stuff." So that doesn't immediately... I don't immediately know the answer. I don't think I've read this book. So it's British. I suspect it's written by a man. I mean, it makes me think of Nick Hornby, but would he have been writing in 87? Rabbit. Jimmy Rabbit. Melody Maker, NME. I mean, I don't have anything else, really. I mean, I'm going to say Nick Hornby, but I'm not going to guess books. I don't know. And it's probably not him anyway. Roddy Doyle's The Commitments. Okay. I don't know anything about that book. Oh, I feel like people are probably shouting at the screen. Okay, next from 1992. "The snow in the mountains was melting and Bunny had been dead for several weeks before we came to understand the gravity of our situation." I think I know this, but I'm going to carry on reading. "He'd been dead for 10 years before they found him, you know. It was one of the biggest manhunts in Vermont history. State troopers, the FBI, even an army helicopter. The college closed, the dye factory in Hampton shut down. People coming from New Hampshire, upstate New York, as far away as Boston." So Bunny is dead. That is Donna Tartt, The Secret History, which I have read. I was a little underwhelmed by that, to be honest. I found all the characters Very irritating, which I know they're meant to be. I normally quite like, sort of like unlikable characters, but they just kind of annoyed me. Next one from 1989. The old woman remembered a swan she had bought many years ago in Shanghai for a foolish sum. This bird, boasted the market vendor, was once a duck that stretched its neck in hopes of becoming a goose, and now look, it is too beautiful to eat. Then the woman and the swan sailed across an ocean, many thousands of li wide, stretching their necks towards America. On her journey she cooed to the swan, "In America I will have a daughter just like me, but over there nobody will say her worth is measured by the loudness of her husband's belch. Over there nobody will look down on her, because I will make her speak only perfect American English." So again, I don't know. I haven't read it. There's a book. I feel like there's a book that's got swan in the title and it's really long. And that's the one I want to guess. But I like wild swans or something. I mean, I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to guess the author because I don't know. Oh. The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. I've read Amy Tan, but I must not have read that. Have I read that? One moment. I thought I'd read something by Amy Tan, but none of those books that I can see from her ring a bell, so maybe not. And the final one in this round is from 2000. Okay, let's see if we can get another one, because I am not doing very well. Early in the morning, late in the century, Cricklewood, Broadway. At 6:27 hours on 1st January 1975, Alfred Archibald Jones was dressed in corduroy and sat in a fume-filled Cavalier Musketeer estate, face down on the steering wheel, hoping the judgment would not be too heavy upon him. He lay forward in a prostrate cross, jaw slack, arms splayed either side like some fallen angel. Scrunched up in each fist he held his army service medals left and his marriage licence right, for he had decided to take his mistakes with him. A little green light flashed in his eyes, signalling a right turn he had resolved never to make. He was resigned to it. He was prepared for it. He had flipped a coin and stood staunchly by its conclusions. This was a decided upon suicide. In fact, it was a New Year's resolution. Again, I don't know. That doesn't ring any bells. Cricklewood, Broadway. So it's set in 75. Alfred Archibald Jones. And it's someone's debut novel. I mean, it kind of sounds like it's written by a man. Presume American. I have nothing. I'm going to pass. Well, I was way off because they are not a man. They are not American. Everyone was probably shouting at the screen, but it's Zadie Smith's White Teeth. That's really interesting. I don't think I've read any Zadie Smith. I DNF'd NW. I just didn't really like the style. But I would never have guessed that that was the start of White Teeth. Not that I know that much about that book, but that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay, round 4. There are 5 rounds in total. Round 4, I think there's 6 questions. Oh, this is connections. Right, we'll see. Can you link the 3 items in each case? So question 1, the surname of Michael, John and Wendy in Peter Pan. That's Darling, isn't it? What Winnie the Pooh goes in quest of in the first chapter of Winnie the Pooh? Honey, presumably. What a Walter Greenwood novel had on the dole, and a Gabriel Garcia Marquez novel had in the time of cholera? Love. So Darling, Honey and Love, they are all terms of endearment. Terms of endearment. Well done. Okay, question 2. The surname shared by Jared, the author of 1997's Pulitzer Prize winning Guns, Germs and Steel, and John, Nigella Lawson's late husband, who chronicled his final illness in C because cowards get cancer too. I don't know. Next clue. Carson McCullers' Lonely Hunter in a novel of 1940. That means nothing to me. The detective created by Dashiell Hammett, who first appeared in The Maltese Falcon and was played on screen by Humphrey Bogart. Oh, I don't know. I have nothing for this one. So let's just look at the answer. Suits of playing cards. I'm going to see if the answer without... Does it give us more explanation? Without spoiling anything. What is this, round 4? No, hang on. Right, let's have a look. So it was Jared and John Diamond. McCullers, The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. Oh, yeah, and Dashiell Hammett's detective is Sam Spade. Yeah, that's the only one I had half a chance of getting, really. Anyway, number 3. The author of The Razor's Edge and of Human Bondage. Is that William... someone... Golding? I don't know. Regan's husband in Shakespeare's King Lear. I don't know my Shakespeare. A 1896 poetry collection by A.E. Housman. My dad from the library got a book by A.E. Housman this morning. And I think when he was telling me about it, he was like, A.E. Housman. Did he say like, oh God, this could be way off, like a Shropshire lad or something? I mean, Regan. I don't know. Place names? Oh, I am so bad at this. Oh, British counties. Can I have that? I'm going to give that to myself. Let's have a look at the answer. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Oh, Somerset Maugham wrote of Human Bondage. Regan married the Duke of Cornwall, okay, and the Houseman Poetry Collection was a Shropshire lad. I only got that because my dad mentioned it this very morning, so that's fun. Okay, question 4. Someone, author of the 1,000-page novel about British India, The Far Pavilions, which became HBO's first drama series. I don't know. Oh, a dark adapted, a psychological thriller by Barbara Vine. And The Cruel Something, a Second World War novel by Nicholas Montserrat. So it's a dark adapted I. So I'm just going to say parts of the body. No! Words that sound like individual letters. Let's look at the answers. So it is a dark adapted I. It's MMK was the author. Oh, and The Cruel Sea is Montserrat's story. Okay, fair enough. Question 5. The member of the royal family to whom Jane Austen dedicated Emma. Don't know. The city where the heroine of Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials grows up, albeit in a parallel universe. I mean, I think that's set in Oxford. I've not read it. The main character of Sebastian Faulk's Devil May Care and William Boyd Solo, I don't know. If the city is Oxford, what would that have made? Member of a royal family. I don't know. I'm going to have to pass on that one. Oh, green set of streets on a Monopoly board. Okay, let's look at those answers without spoiling the others. Hang on, here we are. So the green set, so it is set in Oxford. So that's Oxford Street, Oxford Road. I always forget which of Oxford Street and Oxford Road is in London and which is in Manchester. Oxford Street's London, right? Okay, Emma is dedicated to the Prince Regent. and Falk's novels both starred James Bond. I didn't know he'd written James Bond. I maybe... yeah. Oh, yeah. I maybe could have guessed that. Okay, final one in this round. Henry James's Washington and Patrick Hamilton's Hangover. None of that means anything to me, really. I mean, I know Henry James. Next clue, the Bertolt Brecht play, whose German title is Der Kaukasische Kreidekreis. I mean, I should know what that means, but I don't. And the final clue is the film series that has inspired dozens of spin-off novels, including Tatooine Ghost, The Cestus Deception, and Lords of the Sith. Wow, not much of any of those clues mean anything to me. Okay, let's have a think. I have nothing on this one. The answer is shapes. Let's have a look what it says. So, James's Washington Square is a novel, and Hamilton's Hangover Square. Brecht's play is the Caucasian Chalk Circle. I mean, I should have got that. And the film series is Star Wars, so Square Circle Star. I've never seen... oh, Sith. I maybe should have got it from that. I've never seen Star Wars. I did pretty bad. I got 2 out of 4 on that one. We have one romantic round to go to see if I can redeem myself. Okay, round 5, there are 12 questions. And these are 12 film and TV questions. But presumably related to books as well, because this is a quiz book. Question 1. Who's the author of the novels Playing with Fire, Make My Wish Come True, and He's the One, and met her first husband when they both appeared in the 3rd series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? So I'm guessing Katie Price, presumably. And she met Peter Andre. Yes, it is. Well done. We're going very highbrow here, clearly. Question 2. Who created the teenage criminal mastermind Artemis Fowl, as featured in a 2019 film directed by Kenneth Branagh? Teenage criminal mastermind Artemis Fowl. I feel like I should know this, but I don't think I'm going to get there, so we'll pass. I've never heard of this person, and I don't know how to pronounce their name. Ian Colfer, is that how you pronounce that? I've never heard of them. Question 3. Who wrote the 1994 novel What a Carve Up! Exclamation mark, which took its title from a British comedy horror film of 1961? I mean, I have... What a Carve Up! Don't know. Jonathan Coe, who I do know, haven't read from, I don't think. Question 4. Who created the 1978 children's book that has no words and was turned into an animated film that has no words either, apart from a song sung by the choir boy Peter Orty? I am going to presume that's the Snowman. So it was Raymond Briggs. Yeah. Question 5. Daniel Radcliffe made his first post-Harry Potter film appearance in which horror movie based on a novel by Susan Hill, which I have recently read? The Woman in Black. The Woman in Black. Question 6. Push, the 1996 debut novel by Sapphire about an obese Harlem teenager, was turned into which film, for which Jeffrey S. Fletcher became the first African American to win an Oscar for screenplay writing? 1996 though. Oh, the novel was 96. Okay. I think there was a film called Precious. Yes. Number 7. Who played one of the main characters? Who played one of the main characters in the 2005 TV version of her own novel, Life isn't all ha ha he he. I've never heard of that. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a comedian, but I've never heard of it, so I'm going to pass. Oh, okay, Mira Sayal, yeah. Do you know what? I think I have heard of that. Question 8. The 2016 film Me Before You is based on a best-selling novel by whom? I've read this. Oh God, what's the name? And I read the sequel. I can't remember the name of this author. And she's really popular. I feel like her name starts with a C. I could be wrong, but I really can't think. It's going to annoy me when I see what it is, though. What's her name? Me Before You by... I'm going to pass. There is no C in this name. Jojo Moyes. Right, question 9. Which film that regularly appears in the top 10 in critics' polls of the greatest ever movies was inspired by Arthur C. Clarke's short story, The Sentinel? What? Oh, which film that regularly appears in the top 10 and was inspired by Arthur C. Clarke's short story, The Sentinel? So, Arthur C. Clarke. So, this is confusing. So that can't be it. So my answer before today to this question would have been 2001: A Space Odyssey. But that's not a short story because I saw it in the library this morning and had a conversation with my dad about it, and it was like it was a proper novel. So there's obviously another really popular film. What does Sentinel mean? That might be a clue. Which film? So I think I am just going to say 2001: A Space Odyssey in case it started as a short story and then became a novel at some point. Because I can't think of anything else. It is 2001: A Space Odyssey. So I need to Google this then. So, yes, this is interesting. So the short story The Sentinel was written in 1948. First published in 1951, and then the novel, was published in 1968. Oh, so like 20 years after the story was written. So in 1968, and the novel was developed concurrently with Stanley Kubrick's film version and published after the release of the film. There you go. That's quite interesting. When I didn't get it out the library, but I was thinking that I'd quite like to read that at some point. I've never seen the film either, but my dad says it's excellent. Right, question 10. I know the answer to this. Do I? Oh, what's his name? Which writer's works have been adapted into the films Minority Report, Total Recall, Blade Runner, and the Amazon TV series The Man in the High Castle? It's Philip K. Dick, right? Yes. Well done. Okay, 2 questions left. Question 11. 2 of Damon Runyon's stories about Prohibition-era New York were turned into which musical? Later a film starring Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando. 2 of Damon Runyon's stories about Prohibition-era New York were turned into which musical? Later a film starring Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando. So it's a musical, named for a musical. There was also then a film with Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando. It's probably not the kind of film I would watch. I don't have anything. Do I have anything? I don't think I have anything to guess. Guys and Dolls, okay, yeah. Potentially could have guessed that if I'd have thought longer. Final question of the quiz. Kim Novak, Julia Foster, Robin Wright and Alex Kingston have all played which Daniel Defoe character on screen? Moll Flanders? Is that Daniel Defoe? That's all I've got. Correct. I did not get many of those right. There was 12 questions. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I got 7. And 5 wrong. That was the same on the first round, wasn't it? Okay, so that was quite fun. I learned some things. And if you if you were playing along, let me know. Let me know how you did. Did you get any of the ones that I didn't get right? I'm sure you did. Let me know if you enjoyed this, because, you know, there are more rounds in this book. I mean, I had a lot of fun doing this. So I'm going to do this again, even if I don't film myself doing it. If you've made it to the end and you don't have anything to comment, leave me a penguin emoji. This video is far longer than I had anticipated. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Bye.